Hello, Johan. How are
Hello,
you?
God. Good, and you?
I'm good too.
Oh,
Well, looks
what's
like
new?
you've been enjoying all the sessions. Uh-oh. Johan, you are having some trouble with the internet connection.
Can you hear me?
I can, but your internet isn't that great.
Hello.
I can hear you, but your internet isn't that great.
It's 100 because I see my speed is 100 meg.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, great. To start off with this session, welcoming you, Johan, to the panel discussion, which is the main feature, the bridal gown. I mean, that is something which is the most important discussion of any wedding, right? And I mean, you guys are going to be talking a lot about it. And for those of you all who do not know who Johan is an accomplished event and luxury brand expert who has built a name for himself and his companies over the last couple of years in the South African events industry. He has he is currently the director and CEO of various companies, which include Johan Ungerer Signature Events, Wedding, Johan Ungerer Signature RP and Marketing, of which he is the creator, founder, and director. CEO of Opulent Models, South Africa. He has over 10 years of experience in the luxury brand industry where he held various positions. He's also the brand ambassador for several luxury brands in South Africa. I mean, Johan is a package. He is everything. He can do everything. So, welcoming you on board, Johan, and glad to have you here. And welcoming the panelists, and the stage is all yours, Johan.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello,
Johan,
everyone.
Karen. How are you?
Fine, thanks yourself.
Good, good. So, ladies and gents, are we ready for this?
Are we ever?
I'm telling you. Karen, if you wouldn't mind, just dropping your screen. Yeah, so we can just see you. There we go. Thank you. So, ladies and gents, where do we begin? I mean, we're obviously discussing the bridal gown, which is, I think the highlight of any, celebration and wedding and so on. And yeah, let's start kicking off with regards to just a quick introduction from each and every one of you, just to let the audience know, what you do, who you are, and so on. Amy, if you'd like to take the stage.
Okay. So hi, I'm Amy. I'm the owner of Sposabella Bridal Boutique in KZN. I actually bought the business in November 2019, so it's been quite a hectic, dive deep into the wedding industry for me, but it's been great. I personally run the entire company, and we try to give our brides a very individual, unique experience. So it's always, there's just the bride with her bridal party, there's champagne. It's a whole fun experience that we create while trying on dresses and hopefully finding the one for our bride. She found the man, now she has to find the dress.
Exactly like you said, finding the one. Hey, I think that's the difficulty, because there's so many beautiful dresses out there. Johan?
Hi guys, I'm Johan Botha. I've been in the industry for almost 28 years now, doing bridal couture. And like Amy said, sometimes I think it's easier to find the man than the dress. So that's why we are here to help you find that dress. And what we like to do is also, I think we've created a niche market where we like to do something a little bit different. But like I said, it's always very important to look at the personality of the bride and then take it from there.
100%. Karen, stage is yours.
Hi, I'm Karen de Villiers. I used to be a music teacher, very much into music, accompanist, pianist, organist. And 15 years ago, I started Olivelli. And here I am 15 years later, and I'm also the distributor for Maggie Sotero Designs in Africa. So I'm quite busy.
No, I can imagine. That's absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gents, I'm definitely surrounded by, phenomenal people in this panel, and it's an honor for me, to be able to chat to you today and to get your input with regards to, the main feature of each and every wedding. I think a lot of people would disagree that the dress is the main feature, but, I definitely agree that it is. Because, I mean, no matter what, from movies to, people that you speak to, the brides, the grooms, the bridesmaids, the family, it all boils down to, what is she wearing? Who is she wearing? I think it's one of those things where it's become so, such a huge, thing in our industry, with regards to the wedding dress. It's like sometimes they skimp on the rest of the wedding, and the main feature, like we're discussing, is the wedding dress. The hell with the rest of the wedding, just as long as the dress looks good. So then let's quickly hit it off with regards to the wedding dress and the wedding gown as such. What are the new trends, for 2021, 2022 going forward? And what are the brides looking for? What are the bridesmaids looking for? What are the trends? Amy, if you'd like to give us an answer, please.
So what I've seen is the trends are definitely moving towards a more simpler dress. So when I say that, not so much heavy lace and beading and lots of detail. So more of your classic satins and your Mercados. And I think for a while they were there, but they were very much to the side. And I personally feel like they're coming back. I'm using more and more dresses that are maybe doing half satin, half lace, and going forward even like no lace completely. I mean, lace obviously will always be there and will always be beautiful and that, but the simpler dresses, the more classic dresses are coming back, I think. And I've also seen, in terms of lace, very modern lace. It seems to, I don't just be such different laces out there now that I personally have never seen before, which is great. So there's definitely be modern lace coming through.
Johan, what's your feedback with regard to that? The trends for 2021 going into 2022?
Johan, it's very, very difficult, and I'm not going to be lying if I say that I think South Africa is a little bit behind. We are almost like sometimes even 2 years behind what's happening overseas. So it's difficult to say what's in at the moment. There's not necessarily going to work this side. But at the end of the day, I think it all boils down to the personality of the bride. Plain, simple dresses really coming back, what Amy said. But I also get that people are starting to take more risks. People are walking down the aisle in a black wedding gown and a red wedding gown.
Yeah.
So the trend is there. But like I always say, stay true to your personality. If you are someone like Karen who's in the music industry and she likes to do something different, do it. If you're someone that's, I mean, if you're not the ball of the bell every time you walk into a place and you're more subdued and you don't want everyone to notice you immediately, you can't walk down the aisle in a red wedding gown. So stay true to yourself. But if it's there, take the risk. And I mean, if you work with someone that can show you what type of risk you can take, because at the end of the day, it must never look like I've got like 17 ideas and I've used all 17 in one dress. I always say it must look like I've just got up the morning, put a few hair clips in my hair, put on the dress, and here I am. Even if it took you 48 hours to look like that, that is the way it's supposed to be. It has to look natural.
Yeah. 100%. Then, ladies and gents, when obviously we all know the planning of a wedding, where we all start and so on. So, your opinion with regards to a bride when she starts planning her wedding day, her big day, her dream day. Do you think it all starts by the dress? Anyone?
I would say it's, she has a picture in mind. And I think she will find a venue. If you have a picture in mind, it will be, they often first find the venue and then they decide this is what's going to work with the venue. But in the end, it's also about the personality, as Johan said, the personality of the bride, but the venue also determines, and obviously the body type of the bride will also determine what's going to work on her. And what I find is that what I really want to say is that a bride must sit back, enjoy the moment when she becomes engaged, and she must sit and think, who am I? What is my brand that I want to show on my wedding day? Am I going to be someone who's crazy? Do I, as Johan said, am I going to put 20 different styles into the dress? Or who am I? And from that is a starting point. And that is another very important thing, is not to listen to 20 other people, what they are all telling her. So we had an example this week of a bride who is talking to, I don't know how many people about the style of her dress. And, you know, she is so confused. She doesn't know what she wants. So, first of all, you have
Trust
to know
yourself.
who you are. Trust
Yeah.
yourself. Find your own brand.
Yeah. My
Exactly,
boutique is quite
yeah.
small, so we always say you're only allowed like a maximum of 3 people, because the more people that come to your appointment, the more confusing it gets, because the more opinions you get, the more this way, that way, and it's just then it gets too much. So that's 100% true what you were saying.
I'm totally with you on that. Yeah, yeah. I'm
COVID
totally
is the most
with you on
wonderful
that,
thing.
guys.
Sorry, Johan.
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
That's where COVID is
sorry,
very
yeah,
handy, because we can't allow many people in.
Yeah.
I think they should bring out the whole thing of. No, sorry, go Johan.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you on that. So what I always tell the person, it's not like buying a jean from Edgar's. You know what suits you. So you go alone and you go and buy your jean. But when you put on something like a wedding gown, which is the first time, maybe on your matric dance, you did something similar. But you always respect someone's opinion, but don't make their opinion your decision. Because at the end of the day, I say you immediately know when you put that dress on, you know this is my dress. I always say if she stands in front of the mirror and starts swiggling that dress, you know this is your dress. Because she will know immediately if she put that dress on, this is working.
Johan, I just quickly want to interrupt you. We've got a question here from our audience. When a bride goes dress shopping, what is the right amount of people to invite when you go dress shopping? As we've been discussing now, what would your opinion be?
I would say,
sorry, Karen, go.
I think we will agree, Johan, mother or mother and sister, or mother and 2 people.
Best friend. Yeah.
And best
mother,
friend.
sister, best friend. That's that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you want to bring mother-in-law along as well, maybe mother-in-law. That's it. You know, I love my children-in-law. So, you know, I don't think it should be a difficult situation. So we often have mom and mom-in-law, and that's it. Or mom-in-law, sister, but the closest people, and not the whole entourage, because then you have to stand there and entertain them. And you don't
everyone
end
has
up
seen your
having a
dress.
dress.
Yeah, and then they're
Everyone
so
has seen your dress
noisy and
already.
so many opinions that you don't know which way, who's saying what, and the worst is when a bride loves the dress in the fitting room and she opens it and there's this huge entourage and they like pull a face, or they're like, oh, that's not, and you just can feel her deflating, and you're like, no, okay, let's have the closest people, the most important closest people, the fewer the better.
100%. I think it's extremely important, Johan.
No, okay, go. Johan, it's fine.
No, I think it's extremely important with regards to, you know, I mean, we've seen it, you know, several times where you stand there and, you know, you with a designer at a boutique, you know, and I'm speaking from an events coordinator and a wedding coordinator's point of view, that, you know, you stand there with a bride and it's like, oh my God, it's beautiful, you know, and you see she's fallen in love with it. And especially like Amy said now, then, you know, as soon as those curtains open and you stand in front of the entourage, it's literally, you know, some of them, no, yeah, don't like it. And it's like, it's about the bride at the end of the day. It's not about other people's opinions, And I mean, if the bride feels comfortable and she loves what she's wearing, that's all that matters.
It's
I always
about how
say
the dress speaks to
yeah.
your heart.
Yes.
Yeah, I always say it's so important. I mean, if you buy that dress, or they must just remember we're selling a dress, but we're selling our name and our brand as well. We're not going to put you in something that's not going to work for you and your body. So listen to your designer, listen to the people you buy your dress from. Our name is in that dress, in the label inside. But I want people to walk up to you and ask you, where did you get this gown? And if you've done it right with the bride, that is your advertisement to the outside world. So we're not going to sell. We're not going to put you in something that's not going to work for you. So that's just my opinion.
I agree. I always tell people, you don't think we are great. We are as good as our last happy bride. That is what it's all about. And even if you've had thousands of brides, each bride is special, and it's her special day. So she is getting married, and she needs your special attention, and she has to feel that all the time.
Karen, I've got a question from the audience for you. Are you pro designing or pro hiring a wedding dress? What would your opinion be?
Well, I work with designers. I import dresses, but we have sessions with the designers where we can say we can add input. So I have a very close relationship with the people whose dresses I actually have in my store. So if I know that I need something or I want something, I will talk to the head designer of Maggie Sotero Designs, and they will incorporate it for us. So the question, pro design and pro hiring, I am not into hiring of dresses because I hate, because I also distribute dresses. I don't like going to a store where I see grey, old, tired dresses. They have been worn and washed, and they are crying for help, and they are hanging there, and they are being rented and rented. That's not who I am. So I am really not pro rental of dresses.
Johan, quick question for you. Sorry,
Yes.
Amy. Johan, quick question for you. Would you say a year before your wedding is too soon to find your wedding dress?
I don't know. It's very difficult to say because what we do, we design the dresses. So I say it's never too early to start looking for your dress. I mean, the more time you give yourself, then you don't have to take the first dress that you see. The dresses keeps repeating in the shops as well. Amy and Karen, you will know. So you get in new stock all the time. But if you buy your dress a year in advance and that that is your dress, stop looking for further. Buy your dress, put it in the store, hang it in your closet. The chance that someone else is going to have the same dress that you bought a year ago is almost null. So I always tell people, if you really go and look for your dress, even when it comes to a designer's point of view, if we have a year to source materials, source laces, do a hand beat, your dress is going to be cheaper. But if we have just walk into a store and buy material because we need to make it now, we won't be able to go and look for something that's the same or compare prices. We have to buy what's there now. But I mean, I had a friend that walked into a store and bought a dress 8, 9, 10 months before a wedding. And it was great because it was something that she loved. And then a month or two before the wedding, she just comes in and we tailor it and see that it fits her perfectly. So I said the better you're planning, at least a year in advance. I can do it in a month, but we love to do it in a year. Yeah.
Amy, what's the weirdest request you've ever had from a bride with regards to a dress or the design or your input?
So I wouldn't say I've had any weird requests, but like a weird situation was we have this beautiful satin ball gown with pockets. And I mean, who doesn't love a dress with pockets? You put your hands in, you twirl, it's so much fun. And I had a bride one day, she sticks her
Like
hands
me and
in,
Johan, we normally
Yeah.
do, you know.
yeah, exactly. You know exactly
On a
what I'm saying.
bride.
Yeah.
Yeah. She sticks her hands in her pocket. She goes, "Oh, I can keep all my snacks in here for the whole day." And I was like, "You do not keep your snacks in your dress, please. Hands only. Your
It's like, thank you
bridesmaids
for the
can keep all your
canapé.
snacks." Yes, yeah. Like, no, let's not spend all this money on a wedding dress and then stuff snacks into it. So, I mean, that for me, that's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. But in terms of requests, I think most of them just wanting to add sleeves or do a little alteration here. That, I mean, that's pretty par for the course. So, and those kind of things we're always able to help with. So, yeah, nothing too funny.
Then, ladies and gents, one of the extremely important questions, and I think, you know, brides, grooms, you know, I know that we're focusing on, you know, the bridal gown, but take into account the grooms as well, you know, when it comes to suits and so on. To bear that in mind, you know, with regards to losing weight, you know, I think that is such a sensitive subject, because if you take into account, you know, yes, you go for your fittings, what would you recommend would be the perfect time to go for your final fitting, to go for your, you know, to lose weight and this and that? I'm certain that the three of you definitely sit with issues like that.
I would say with us, we normally start 10 weeks before the wedding. And we have 2 week intervals between the fittings. So we have 4 fittings, and a week before the fitting, the wedding or the collection date, we have a quality control fitting to see if everything's 100%. Yes, and they do lose weight up to the last few days. Or if you stress and you are a stress eater, you gain weight up to the last few days. So you deal with it. It's just, and that's why we stagger our appointments and have the final fitting close to the wedding, so that we can check that everything is fine. And there's nothing shirring elastic can't do. It's a thin elastic thread that you put in to make the dress the fit a little bit more snug if she is busy losing weight, just for those a few days before the wedding.
Then the big word that I think nobody likes at all. Well, I suppose, you know, the people that's paying for the wedding don't like it. But just a quick question from our audience. What are your opinion on a 2-tier or 1-tier veil? Amy?
Well, I suppose it goes back to your personality and what is your vision for the day. So with a 2-tier veil, you would have that section that comes over your face. So some people love that. It's a very traditional look. Other brides don't. So I suppose, yeah, it goes back to what's your vision of the day. You know, how traditional do you want to be? How do you want to look? And all those kind of things. So it's up to you.
Perfect. Corin, quick one. I've got a question for you. Are dresses with long lace trails still something that would look elegant?
I suppose Suzette is talking about a train.
Yes.
Something wonderful that Maggie Sotero has just brought in is that we have detachable trains. So that's actually wonderful, because you can have your long train for photographs for the grand entrance. It all depends on where you're having the ceremony. And when after the photos, you just snap off the train, and there you have a much more comfortable train. But you know, it also, with a beautiful train, you can do a beautiful bustle on your dress, and I feel it's very important to spend time on making a beautiful, creative bustle on your dress, and not just one hook up there which looks like a peacock tail. That to me is the most uncreative thing that people can do to a bride. You know, to just have one button there and everything goes up there.
Mm.
So the
Yeah.
fashion is
You're actually
beautiful
taking
trains.
away the whole look. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
You're
spoil
taking
the bride the whole evening.
that. I'm so in agreement with you about this one button or the one hook. You take away the complete look of the dress. So at the end of the day, you have to decide. That's why I always love to do a train that can just be taken off and you can party afterwards. There's nothing more beautiful than a bride walking down the aisle with a big train, and it's just gorgeous. But the rest of the day, the rest of the night, it's going to be in the way. So that's why I love detachable trains and stuff like that. So it just makes it so much easier for the bride as well.
But Johan, even though it is, if it's not a detachable train, one can really, with a few buttons and not just the one button, or even doing a ballroom bustle,
Yeah.
where you fold
Yes.
it into the inside and it becomes a floor length. You can make it
Yeah.
so beautiful and elegant.
More interesting.
Yeah, that's what I always tell. Yeah, that's why we always tell the brides as well. If you really want to train, you have to go longer. So that because then you can do so much more with the train. You can't just have like a train of 30 centimeters and then want to take it up. So if you want to do a train, do it properly, and then you will able to do so much more with the train afterwards, where you can pick it up and make it look amazing.
Absolutely.
Johan, quick question. The B word, budget.
I thought you was going to say bridesmaid.
No.
I agree with you, Johan, about that one, the BR word.
Yeah.
So, with regards to the budget, how much would you say? Obviously, it depends on budget and so on, and how much people have to spend, and so on. But how much would you say is the reality to spend on a wedding dress nowadays?
It all depends, like you say, on the budget that the person have. But what we like to do is we want the bride to come to us with her budget. And then if you really listen to the people selling the dress for you, they will show you ways that you can actually work with your budget. But I mean, let's be realistic today. If you're really looking for a wow gown, nothing less than 20 grand is going to get you there. So I can make you a dress for 5,000. But I think that's actually becoming a very big problem nowadays. People come with a dress that I've seen on Pinterest, which I hate because I know it's a Ellie Saab dress that's costing 1.2 million, and then they want to recreate that dress for 5,000 rand.
Yeah.
Go and be realistic. There is a dress for you out there. If your budget is 5,000 rand, if your budget's 100,000 rand, but go into a store. Do your homework before you enter a store. That this is the price range of the dresses in store, so that your jaw don't drop to the ground when you hear the price. I mean, if you want to go quality, it's going to cost you, but it's going to be a total different look on you than a 5,000 rand dress. That's just my
Amy, I've got a question for you from Rafil.
Okay.
How do you store your wedding dress after the wedding to ensure that it lasts forever and maintains its quality? That is an extremely good question, because
that is a good question.
Yeah.
And maybe others also have good ideas, but what I usually just say, we have special dress bags, and then you put them in your dress bag and you hang it. So to fold it in a box or something, it gets it wears away at those fold points. So if you just keep it hanging in a dress bag that can get air in and out, and it's not like cramped in a dark corner, then that should be fine. But forever is a long time. So I don't know if anyone has other suggestions.
I know one can actually buy acid-free boxes, bridal wedding dress boxes, where you can store your dress, which is acid-free. I don't know how long acid-free will actually preserve the dress. I don't know, Johan, do you know?
No, what I usually say to someone is, I mean, you don't want to put mothballs and all that type of things into the dress because that smell. What we've learned that really works is plain soap. If you put some soap balls into your dress bags and stuff, that keeps all the moths, all the fish moths, everything away from the dress. But and I don't agree with vacuum packing. I mean, if you vacuum pack something, I mean, it's like dry cleaning something. It's going to be 4 sizes smaller after you've taken it out there because it's been vacuum packed in that. So a nice acid-free box, some nice soaps. Even if you hang it in your bag, just put some soap in, or you nowadays even get cedarwood blocks that you can put into it to keep the fish moths and stuff like that away from your dress. But get it
Even I'm
clean
learning
before you hang it, and don't keep it. Don't wait 4, 5, 6 months after the wedding. Now you want to clean your dress, and I mean,
I agree.
Immediately.
a day after the wedding is already pushing it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, we get dresses a year later, and you know that dirt has actually settled in the fabric, and it's very hard to clean them properly.
yeah.
So with
don't dry
regards to
clean.
advice for the brides,
No, don't dry clean.
Don't dry clean.
sorry guys. So with regards to advice for our brides on their wedding day, with the show-stopping, beautiful wedding gown, what advice have you got? Karen, let's start with you.
First of all, enjoy your wedding day. Enjoy waking up and just taking in the moment. This is my wedding day, because it's a very special day. The wedding dress must just be, the people you buy the dress from should tell you how to hang the dress, that the train is not creased, or hang it out beautifully, and your veil hang it out beautifully, that you don't have creases. And if there's a little spot or something, use white soap, just white toilet soap and a white cloth, and just take it out, and just enjoy your dress, because there's nothing else you can really do on the wedding day than wear it and just love it.
But don't you think that's one of those things where you should wear the dress shouldn't wear you?
No, for sure. That's where the personality comes in, and we often have girls coming in and say, I want mermaid. I want mermaid. Mermaid is a very popular word, and not everyone can wear mermaid. If your legs are so short, you can't wear a mermaid, because it's going to make your legs look even shorter. So you have to look at your good features. If you have you can be a curvy bride, but you have a beautiful waist, and you emphasize the waist, that can make you look 10 kilos smaller. So just
I
enjoy
think it's
the
all
dress.
about proportion. All about
That's it,
proportion. At the
balance.
end of the day, everything is about proportion.
Proportion and
If you've got
balance.
small, if you've got a small shoulder and you want to go something big, great. But I mean, if you've got a small hip, even if you have a big waist and a big bust, that hourglass shaped figure can look amazing on you, but then don't emphasize the hips. But you will see immediately if you put you in front of a mirror, as soon as you start taking in the dress on the wrong spaces, you will immediately know. And guys, sorry, but I just think there is such a fine line between sexy and then, slutty. It's just not working. So
I agree.
I want you to, a bride can still be sexy, but don't push it. Just be gorgeous and classy. End of the day, that's the most important thing. But like I said, listen to the person who's selling you the dress. Listen to the person who's making you the dress. They are going to give you the best advice for you, because they want their name to go out there and everyone goes, wow, she looks amazing. Where did you get this dress?
100%. Amy.
Yes.
So, quick one. If you have to think couture versus ready to wear, we know that some of the high-end, stores, they literally have phenomenal designs nowadays. I mean, it's absolutely obscene. But what would your advice be? Would you say go couture, go ready to wear? You know, I've heard so many stories personally from brides that actually, you know, for bridesmaid dresses and for, you know, the wedding gown where they actually, you know, get it imported and they buy it from overseas and online, you know, and when it arrives, it's nothing, you know, that it actually looks like, you know, and then it's up to our designers locally to actually repair and fix other people's mistakes, you know, so
They
what
don't
would
go
your
to the
advice
right people. Yeah.
No, that's the thing. So I will first say go ready to wear, because that's what I do. I do ready to wear wedding gowns. But again, like Johan said, you have to go to the right people. So if you're buying a dress online from China and it comes wrong, I'm sorry to say, but what else do you expect? You know?
Exactly.
Where if you come into my boutique, yes, we're ready to wear, but you are trying on that dress. You're trying it on, you're seeing the quality, you're seeing the lace and all the small details in person. And then when you buy it, when you place your order, you know that's exactly what you are going to get. Sure, maybe the size is different because we have to maybe order a different size that's more suitable for you, but you are seeing in person exactly what you're getting. And then with couture, again, like I said, I would always say ready to wear, because I like to know what I'm buying before I put down all that money.
100%.
But I want
Quick
to.
one.
Yeah. Sorry, can I just
Can
comment
I
there
just
quickly?
Johan a question.
No, Corin, go. Yeah.
No, I want to
Corin?
say,
Yeah.
Johan, but you also make beautiful gowns, so it
Yes.
can work with you.
No, I know. But what I want to say is I've got some ready to wear. No, we've got some ready to wear stuff as well. But I always tell something. There's a lot of brides out there. I mean, they've got their matric dress made by someone, and it was a huge flop. So they don't want to go back to a designer, and that's what really is killing us at the moment. Or what's making us sad that there's people outside that give themselves the name of a designer. I mean, they didn't study. They didn't. I mean, they're 2 years in the industry now. I'm a fashion designer. If you go to a designer, make sure that you've seen their work. Go and fit their dresses. Do not send them a picture on the phone and tell me what's this dress going to cost me. Go and fit it on. Go to the right stores. If you want an awesome Olivelli or Maggie Sottero dress, go to Corin. If you want to go go to Amy. But go to the right people. Do not go to a website online where I can get this dress for 2,500 Rand. If the real dress is costing you 48,000 Rand, you must know there's a catch somewhere. So just go to the right people. Make sure that the people that you're working with, I mean, Corin, you've been in the industry forever. We know the quality of your work. Amy, I would love to meet you. I haven't met you yet, but I can see that your enthusiasm and everything is there. So you're going to make it awesome. So just go to the right people and know that what you're buying is the real thing.
Yeah. And sorry, there is a huge difference between a designer, as you were saying, someone who studied and actually designs dresses versus a seamstress who can just copy something from a picture. Like, there is a big difference. So
and then the copy is not a real. It doesn't look like the copy, like the real dress.
Yeah. I mean, I've also had horror stories. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
No. Johan, quick question. What type of dress, what type of dress style would you recommend for a lean column body type?
I think that's actually the most difficult one to go for if there's no shape. Do you know what I'm saying? Because a column is normally there's no. So I would rather go for something maybe either accentuate the hip area where you can make an extra train or something around it to make that pop out a little bit. And then we can always add busts. It's easy. Taking away is a little bit more difficult. I mean, then I have to send to the plastic surgeon. But if you put in the right cup or anything like that, I mean, sometimes they think we're plastic surgeons, but we're not. You can put in a little bit of cup, maybe make a feature on the shoulder or something like that to make it a little bit bigger there, and then emphasize the waist and then go a little bit bigger at the hip. So sometimes someone like that, even a ball gown would be able to work because you have to go a little bit bigger at the hip then.
Yeah.
Yes, the ball gown will emphasize the waist a little bit, will bring focus to the waist.
Yeah, yes.
So, ladies and gents, before we hit off, I can literally stay on here for hours, but I know the next group needs to be on the auditorium. But if you just one point one extremely important, point that you want to bring across to the brides and the grooms out there? Please just, give us the advice. Karen, you go first.
That's a difficult thing because there are many things I would like to say. No, is enjoy your journey. Enjoy your journey. Don't listen to too many people. Listen to the people selling you the dress or designing the dress. And that will be much less complicated.
Thank you, Karen. Johan?
There's one thing I really believe in strongly is that there's nothing more beautiful than a woman with confidence. If you're big, if you're small, if you're tall, if you're fat, if you whatever, own your body. The man that you're getting married to loves you for who you are. You don't have to lose 500 kilograms. I mean, sometimes we get the most beautiful woman walking into my store, and then 12 weeks later she leaves. She's orange. She's got different hair. She's like 40 kilograms lighter. I think at the end of the day, she's going to think when she walks down the aisle, am I at the right wedding? Be confident in yourself, wear the dress, listen to your designer. And like I said, there's nothing more beautiful than a confident bride feeling great in her dress, looking natural, and here I am. And at the end of the day, the most important thing I think that a lot of people don't or remember is the reason why you're getting married. You're getting married to the person who you love, who's in love with you. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. They love you for you.
That's right.
Exactly. Exactly the way you are.
Perfect.
I'm telling you, Amy and Karen, you see, Johan wants us to cry here.
Almost.
Am I getting it?
Amy.
Yeah. So for me, I would say you need to stay true to who you are and like what your personal style is, because I mean, all the dresses are beautiful. There's no wedding dress that's ugly. It all depends on the person wearing it. And you can try on dress A and B and they're both beautiful. But when you're true to yourself and you're sticking with your personality, the one that's right for you, it just is so much better. Because I've never seen like an ugly bride, but when you're true to yourself and your personality and all those different aspects of who you are, it really makes a huge difference. Because I suppose then it comes back to your confidence and being happy, like it works in with all of that other advice.
I couldn't agree more. Well, ladies and gents, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm dying to, grab a cup of coffee with each and every one of you. I think we should.
Everyone is having. I haven't got. Yeah. Everyone's having a cup.
This is not coffee. No, I'm joking. It's coffee. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being part of Espousal. The very first 3D Wedding Expo. We're fortunate and blessed, and proud to have you guys on board as partners of the brand.
Thank you. It was nice chatting with you.
Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you, guys.
No, it's only a
Awesome.
pleasure.